Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our grand rounds. I want to begin with a moment of silence in memory and of honor of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I hope that everyone can take some time in the next few weeks to think about how we can each keep her memory alive and her legacy alive. Brilliant, trailblazer, passionate about improving the lives of women, and tenacious are words that described Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Brilliant, trailblazer, passionate about improving the lives of women, and tenacious are also perfect descriptors for today's Grand Round speaker, Dr. Jennifer Stevens. Dr. Stevens did her doctoral training in Emory's Department of Psychology and her postdoctoral fellowship in Emory's Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences under the mentorship of Drs. Curry Ressler and Tanya Jovanovic. She immediately joined the faculty in our department in 2017 and has had an impressive career already. Dr. Stevens is a leading scientist in the field of women's health. Through her cutting-edge research into the specific role of female hormones in understanding the effect of trauma and stress on brain functions in PTSD, she will help move forward the field in understanding the increased risk of PTSD and other trauma-related disorders in women, particularly in the context of socioeconomic and racial minority groups. Dr. Stevens is currently the principal investigator, PI, of an NIMH-funded R01 entitled Neuroendocrine Mechanisms of Risk for Trauma-Related Psychopathology in Women that investigates biological risk pathways for PTSD and depression in trauma-exposed women, focusing on the role of cyclical fluctuations in estradiol, E2. She is also the site PI on 2 NIH-funded multi-site projects, is the PI on another project for innovative research in mood disorders, and is a co-investigator on 2 other NIH grants. On one of these multi-site projects, Aurora, she is leading all of the neuroimaging analyses across all the sites, and this work will be the primary focus of her grand rounds today. In addition to her remarkable success in securing grants, she has published 55 peer-reviewed manuscripts and has an H-index of 22, which is truly outstanding for any scientist, let alone for someone so early in their career. In recognition of these incredible accomplishments, she was recently honored with the Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences Distinguished Scientific Contributions Award for a junior faculty member, and was just voted onto the executive committee for the neuroscience graduate program at Emory. In addition, last year she was elected as an associate member of the American College of Neuropsychopharmacology, ACNP. In addition to being a productive and successful scientist, she is also an engaged and caring mentor. She goes above and beyond the call of duty for her trainees. She is effective in attending to and balancing the responsibilities of multiple projects and the varied needs of her students. Moreover, she has already distinguished herself as a strong leader in her capacity as the co-director of the Grady Trauma Project, GTP. She takes initiative to improve systems, cares deeply for the participants in the GTP, and is considered by all to be a wonderful colleague. We are fortunate to have the opportunity to learn from her today and every day. Today, she will be sharing with us her insights on leveraging neuroimaging to develop predictive markers of stress vulnerability. As a reminder, the chat box has been disabled, so please ask your questions using the Q&A function. Thank you, and please join me in welcoming Dr. Stevens.
Wow, thanks, Nadine. I hope that the talk can live up to the introduction. All right. I think it's working. Okay. So as Dr. Kaslow mentioned, today I'm going to be talking about some of our neuroimaging work in which we have been attempting to develop predictive biomarkers of stress vulnerability particularly in the Aurora study. I just want to start with my funding and disclosures. Most of this work has been supported by the National Institute of Mental Health, but the Grady Trauma Project and the Atlanta Trauma Alliance, the bigger group that we're a part of, are supported by the department's Catherine Shropshire Hardman Fund, and I received a Shariat Sada and Sine Award to conduct a significant proportion of the research that I'm going to discuss today as well. And all of this work that I'm going to talk about today has been conducted by a large interdisciplinary team, and it makes me happy to show their faces at the beginning of the presentation. So up top, we have our big group at a recent taco party. I really miss having lab parties in the COVID era, but it's been a while since seeing everybody in person. And then these down at the bottom are our investigators and mentors, Dr. Kaslow and Dr. Beck Bradley, who are the administrative directors of Grady Trauma Project. And Dr. Kaslow leads the Atlanta Trauma Alliance, the larger organization to address trauma and its effects on mental and physical health in Atlanta. And I also just want to highlight quickly, since I'm showing pictures of everybody, some of our educational and training experiences. So we have a really robust undergraduate internship program in which we will bring in 10 to 15 undergraduate students from all across Atlanta area institutions. And I mentioned that I'd love for you to send any research interested and smart students our way. This is a great experience for students to be able to learn about trauma, interact with participants, and start to develop some initial clinical psychology and neuroscience skills. We also have a host of practicum students that join us every year and help us with our diagnostic interviews, as well as participate in our department's clinical psychology postdoc program, as well as the neuroscience PhD program, the School of Medicine Discovery program. Those have been some of the most amazing trainees that I've had the pleasure of working with. And we also have a variety of post-baccalaureate research staff who will typically go on to master's and doctoral and medical school after working with us, and bring their knowledge of trauma and its effects on mental health with them. And I think our department just provides an amazing opportunity for training. So just to highlight a few of the successes, pretty much all of the current investigator team was previously a trainee at the Grady Trauma Project. And we also have a number of former trainees who are now faculty, including Ebony Glover at Kennesaw State University, Dorothy Cross at Georgia Southern, and Kelsey Davis at the VA, all prior trainees of the Grady Trauma Project who now